I grew up on food stamps with a single mom with 4 kids, clothes that never fit right, and then I went no contact with my parents the day after I graduated high school. And I have been completely on my own ever since. No financial support, no safety net, nothing. So when someone told me I had white privilege, I wanted to flip a table because I knew what my life had actually looked like, and privilege was not the word for it. And honestly, I think this is where most people get stuck. Because when you hear white privilege, your brain hears easy life. It hears trust fund. It hears handed to you. And if your life has not looked like that, the term feels like an insult. But that's not what it means, not academically. And the woman who introduced the term into the broader conversation was very specific about that. Her name is Peggy McIntosh. She's a scholar at Wellesley College, and in 1989, she wrote an essay called White Privilege, Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack. And in that essay, and in everything she wrote afterward, she was explicit. Her work was not about blame. It was not about shame. It was not about guilt. It was about unearned advantage, which she also described as exemption from discrimination. Read that one more time. Exemption from discrimination. Not a silver spoon, not a head start, the absence of a specific kind of obstacle that other people have to navigate. Someone finally explained it to me in a way that broke through. And I want to give you the same sentence they gave me. It's not about what you have, it is about the roadblocks you do not have to worry about. And once I heard it that way, I started seeing it everywhere in my own life. I had to walk in a bank with very little money, no cosigner, and no idea what I was doing to open my first bank account. That was hard, but nobody looked at me sideways when I walked in. Nobody asked me 3 extra questions. Nobody assumed I was there to cause a problem. I applied to colleges with no guidance counselor, no parents helping me write essays, no one proofreading my applications. That was hard, but my applications got read. My name on the top of that page did not get me filtered out before anybody saw my GPA. I've been pulled over before, and I was annoyed. I was worried about the ticket. I was worried about my insurance going up. I was not worried about whether I was going to make it home alive. That is the invisible knapsack McIntosh was talking about. It is the stuff you are carrying that you never had to put down at a checkpoint, because for you, there was no checkpoint. And this is the part where I want to be really clear, because I know somebody is in the comments typing, but that's just anecdotal. It is not anecdotal. We have decades of research on this. Economists Marian Bertrand and Senthil Mullainathan ran a study where they sent out identical resumes to employers. Same qualifications, same experience, same education. The only difference was whether the name on the top of the resume sounded white or sounded black. The white sounding names got 50% more callbacks. Researchers from Stanford, Harvard Business School, and the University of Toronto found that black applicants got callbacks about 10% of the time when their resumes included identifiers that signaled their race. When they scrubbed those identifiers out, the callback rate jumped to 25%. The applicants did not get smarter. They did not gain experience overnight. They just became less identifiably black on paper. That is a roadblock. That is a checkpoint. That is something a white applicant with the same exact resume never had to think about. So when I say white privilege, I am not saying your life was easy. I am not saying you did not work for what you have. I am not saying you owe anybody an apology for surviving whatever you survived. I am saying that whatever you survived without one specific category of obstacle stacked on top of it. And that is worth being honest about. You can have had a brutally hard life and still have a knapsack you have never had to unpack. Both of those things can be true at the same time. They were both true for me. And once you can hold both of them, the term stops feeling like an attack and starts feeling like a description.